Hey guys, this is the second video in the series about Swabian, the videos that I wish I had when I started. I live in Swabian area, Ulm, and if I had just known these things, I would have been able to understand people a lot better, a lot sooner. And if you never find these videos, then you won't be seeing this, but that'll be okay too, because you will eventually figure it out. It took me longer though, because I never had a resource like these videos. But anyway, let's get right into the second tip. The previous video was about ST, SP, E, and EI. If you haven't seen that, check it out. This video is about conjugations. So it's pretty common, I think, in any dialect in German, where for the first person singular, which would normally be with an E, ich gehe, ich sehe, for it to be cut off, ich sehe, ich gehe, or ich hab. That's very, very common, ich hab. In Swabian, the most unique thing about it is on the EN. So, wir, I have to pick the right verb for it. Instead of we have, wir haben, wir habet, wir habet. And you'll see this EN change to an ET. It's extremely confusing for someone who's just begun speaking German. I was constantly misinterpreting things because it sounded to me like they were saying ET at the end, and I just couldn't. Or it could be any of the the EN endings, like sie haben, sie habet. It confused me so much because I thought it sounded like he said via, but it kind of sounds like he's doing the ending for ia, and it made no sense to me. But this ET ending is really common. And another thing you might notice is some verbs are just totally differently conjugated. So instead of wir gehen, you might hear wir gange. That's more than likely possible. Definitely, in place of wir sind gegangen, you might hear wir sind gange. But the most interesting is in the present tense, where also with standing, stehen, you might hear wir stande instead of wir stehen. So in the present tense, it comes in sort of like this past perfect direction for some reason. It's kind of cool actually, but it's hard to catch on to. Like the pattern is hard to recognize without anyone pointing it out to you. It took me a really, really long time. And just to review from the last video, because the ST, even at the end of the word, is pronounced sht, for conjugation for the second person singular, you, it will almost always sound like sh, bist du, or hast du. Standard German, you would hear hast du or bist du, but it is what it is. Just one other thing with the conjugations, sometimes in the third person singular, you might hear a different version of the verb. For example, laufen, which is a very common word. It's just like the same as saying, how's it going? Wie geht's? Wie läuft's? You might actually hear wie lauft's, and that is Swabian. So the biggest difference is definitely on the right side of the graph, on the right side of the table, for wir, sie, and sie, with the ET ending. Was wir habet, was wir sehet. Then you have these sometimes irregular verbs like gehen, and you might say wir gange. You always have to be aware that ST and SP, even at the end of the word, like in the conjugation for the second person singular, for you, that's du bist, du hast, or for third person singular, with some verbs having slightly different conjugation, like instead of läuft, lauft, or sometimes instead of fährt, fahrt. But now that you know, it really shouldn't be too confusing. In the next video, we'll be talking about some different vocabulary and some different tendencies and grammar styles that are unique to the Swabian dialect. If you haven't seen the first video, it's about the different pronunciation of certain letter combinations, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. This is ULMX, Universal Language Media Exchange. ULMX is a language learning app and YouTube channel. We do like to talk about society and culture as well. Our app is for improving your speech ability, just freestyle speaking, which is really the majority of language use. It's available in the App Store. Go check it out. See you next time.